Okay, we're going to do some more guided practice today. We previously did basic shapes put into one point perspective, but now we're going to go through and we're going to do letters because our project is requiring us to do block letters. So here are the steps. Once again, you should have this glued down in your sketchbook. Step 1, connect all corners and edges to the vanishing point. Step 2, connect all the orthogonal lines to make the parallel lines. Step 3, erase the orthogonal lines, the extra ones, and the exception is if the line goes directly through that corner, you do not draw it. It's behind the object. This one is very important today when we go to do our letters. So we have our vanishing point. Everything is going to go to this dot. We have a horizon line. So I'm going to start with this O over here. First, I'm going to take every corner, every edge back to the vanishing point. I'm not going to draw my lines all the way back today. I'm just going to draw them about an inch off, but I'm still matching them up to the dot because I don't want to have to erase a ton of stuff. I then go to my next corner. I match it up. I drag it out. I go to the top corner here. I match it up. I drag it out. Now, I will not see this corner over here because it goes through the object when I match it up. Okay, so just like I did my spotlight yesterday, this spotlight is the same. I'll see these two sides. I do have a cutout here. So the corner that is not going to go directly through it, this right here is my negative space. If I go through this one, it's going through the object, through the object, through the object. This one is going through the negative space. So I'm going to match this one up here. And I'm going to drag it out. Okay. Step 2, I'm going to make my parallels. So this side is going straight up and down here. I drag it out. I connect my two orthogonal lines together. Parallel. I rotate. I match this line up here. I drag it out. I connect it with that other line I made. These two lines are parallel. Now for my cutout here, I have nowhere else to connect it, so I'm going to match up this line here. It's going straight up and down. I drag it out, and I'm going to take it straight up. This line and this line are then parallel. This is an open end right here, so I'm going to do the same thing as I've done previously. I match this up, I drag it out, and I'm going to connect those lines straight into the side. This is my negative space then. What's going through the object? I can see through it. Okay, you do not have to color it in. I'm just giving you an example. This is the inside part of this. This is the inside part of this. Okay. My third step is I'm going to erase. Now I have less erasing to do because I did not draw it all the way back. Also, with all my other letters on here, those lines can intersect and get kind of confusing up there. I'm going to move on to my S then. Same thing goes here. So I'm going to look at my S and see which corners and edges go back to that vanishing point. So I'm going to start with my top left-hand corner. I match it up, and I'm going to take it back just a little ways. I am going to have to decide if I want my O or my S to be on top of each other. I then go to the next corner. I match it up. I drag it back. The next one, I will not see this one because it goes through the object. I will see this one right here. In the next corner, my next corner. I won't see this one because it goes through. I will see this one though. It's not going directly through that corner. It's like a little hang off on the bottom of my S here. And this one I won't see. Next step is to make my parallels. I'm going to start down here at the bottom of my S. This line's going back and forth this way. I drag out my ruler. I connect it. These two lines are parallel. I rotate my ruler. I match this line up here. I drag it out. I connect these two lines together. These two lines are parallel to one another. So I'm basically making a shadow of my S. I match up this line here. I drag it out, connect it to here. This line and this line are parallel. I rotate the ruler and I have an open end here. So this line's going up and back and forth this way, right here. I'm going to pull out my ruler and take this side straight up into it. I would make sure that this line is at least a little ways in, otherwise it gets confusing when it connects right there. Now for my S, I'm going to bump this line out here. I'm tracing this line here. I'm going to make a second one out here. Parallel. I then match up this line here. It's going straight back and forth. And I want it to go behind the O. So I'm going to stop it there and start again. My third and final step is to erase these extra lines. Okay, so there is my S. Go ahead and try the P on your own. You're taking it back to this vanishing point. Every corner, every edge goes back to that dot. To do my P, I'm going to connect every corner, every edge back to the dot. So please check your work with me. So I'm going to match up this bottom left-hand corner. Notice how tight it is because the closeness or the proximity of it to this vanishing point. So I would think something to think about when you go to arrange your letters and where you're putting your vanishing point. I connect to that bottom left-hand corner. I go to do my top right-hand corner. Up top left, I'm sorry. Top right here. I won't see this one or this one or this one because they're going directly through that corner. I won't see this one either because those are going through the objects, but I will see this bottom right-hand corner. I'm just going to take it a little ways off. My next step is to make those parallel lines. So the P cutout is going to go straight up. And then it's going to go straight over here. This is my negative space, what I can see through the P. This is the inside part of this. This is the inside part of this. Then I'm going to pull this line out fairly far so we can see the side. So I'm going to draw this line straight down here. These two lines are parallel. Notice how tight it is again because of where my vanishing point is, where my light is. Then I'm going to rotate to the top of the P. I match this up here. I pull it out, connect those two lines together. Final step, I erase. Okay, go on and try the A. Now with the A, you can pull this line straight down to go off the page, that's fine. Don't forget the cutout and how the rest goes together. Okay, with my A, I'm going to go to the bottom left-hand corner. Please follow along with your project. I draw my line back to the vanishing point. I will not see this one right here. Goes through. Goes through. That one goes through as well. I will see this bottom corner right here, so I'm going to just draw that little hang off there. I'm not going to see this one because it's off the page. I go to my top corner here, and then I go to this one here. The corner I will see on the inside is going to be the one that goes through the negative space. These are all going through my corners. So I'm going to go to the bottom right-hand corner here and just draw a little line. The next step is I'm going to match up my lines, make my parallels, I drag it straight out, I connect it. These two lines are parallel to one another. I rotate to the top of the A. I match it up. These two lines are parallel to one another. I go to the inside here. I'm going to do both at the same time. This one goes here, and this one goes to there. Okay, I made my parallels. I then rotate my ruler, and I'm going to match up the bottom of the A of the cutout, and I go here. This is my negative space right here. Inside of this, inside of this. This is the inside of that. I just have a little bit of erasing to do, this little area right here, and then I'm good. Your A should look like this. So this is how you take block letters. Everything has to be straight lines and edges, and put it in perspective. We cannot put curved lines into perspective. Every corner, every edge goes back to one dot, one vanishing point. You must use a ruler for every single line. The next step is you are going to brainstorm words that describe you. So you need to have 10 letters, or excuse me, 10 words that describe you. So for instance, they must be 5 letters long. Mrs. Monty is tall. Can I do tall? Cannot, because it's only 4 letters. So I could do enormous, but that kind of has a negative connotation. I could do something else. So for instance, I swam in college. Swam does not describe me. Swimming does not describe me. Swimmer is an adjective that describes me. Okay, so I could do swimmer. I could do the position I played. Okay, so for instance, I was a freestyler. So I swam freestyle, so I could do freestyler. So if I play football, football does not describe me. Football player describes me. Quarterback describes me. Running back, whatever, that's fine. But it has to be a descriptive word that describes you. It has to be an adjective, must be 5 letters or longer. Think outside the box. What makes you unique from everyone else? There should be sheets at your tables to give you ideas of adjectives, fun things, characteristic traits. You can use those as well, but think about what you like to do for fun, what makes you different from your neighbor. We'll use this word then for our project.